Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. I've got a Vax Ultra Light Reach Air Steerable vacuum cleaner. It's an upright. It appears to have balloon in here, and it appears to have some wrapped around the brush bar. So I have a feeling I know what's wrong with it before I even start. But let's put my foot on it there. Let's turn it on. It's sucking all right. And I pull it back. It started. So you can see there, whenever I tried to put on the brush bar by pulling the unit back and pressing, there's a little button up here for the brush. It came on initially with a green light and then it went red almost instantly. There's a little motor in here that drives a belt that drives this brush bar, and if it can feel resistance it stops turning. So presumably there's some old snot stuck in it. So let's have a look. Yeah, there's definitely lots of hair on it. Stuff stuck in the edges and this bit of balloon. Now the balloon just comes out like that, but it might take a bit more work to get in to the rest of it, so I think I've got some screws to take out on the side, so let's go for it. So I've got it up on the bench. The screwdriver's just swinging into view. Let's get this electric screwdriver on it and get these 3 screws off the side. This little plate should come off. That's the belt there, and then there's a little thing here that snaps on the end that guides the pulley. So you do that off, and then you try and jimmy this off. Not sure if this is where I want to be going actually. Is it? I think it's the only direction I have to go. Just roll that belt around and try and pick it off. What I'm going to do actually is use this tool. This is a little hook tool, and we'll use that later on as well, but while it's here on the bench, I might as well try using it to pull this belt over and around. What I'm trying to do is get the belt off. I should say that at the start. It's a bit troublesome. There we go. Now, the belt off, there's a bit of hair stuck in here as well. It won't help. Doesn't seem to be affecting it, but it won't help it, so I might have to cut that off as well. Okay, in here, this should pull out somehow. Yeah. I'm just using the pick on that as a little lever to lever this up. This whole thing has a couple of pieces of plastic that have to snap out together. There we go. And then the whole bar just pulls out. Now these 2 bits clip off. And then check the bearing on the end. It's okay. And there's a bearing on this end. Actually, no, I think this one's completely toast. The bearing's seized, but if you look at this side, the plastic is all melted and that bearing is not in the center. It should be a bit further north. So it looks like that whole brush bar has has gotten really hot and melted together at some point. Looking in the back down here, this is the unit that holds the other end. This is meant to locate in that square space down there. And this should be in there, but you can see how it's come off sideways. So this thing's going to go, like, not be rotating about the center, so it's going to hit harder on one side. Yeah, I think this one's a dud. But I'll show you what I was going to show you anyways, because I'm here and we're in. I might as well do it now. Somebody else's hair, which is always a pleasure. Get a scissors or a knife or anything that will sharp. We'll go down. It's easiest to go down along the brush end. And then once you've got a start on it, you really only need to do that on the thick stuff, but then using the hook tool, just pick it off. If you've got allergies, sometimes this is a pleasure. I've seen them worse than this. I've Starting to see them better. How clean you get these is up to you, because in reality you are fighting against something that will get dirty again. If you live in a house with lots of long brown hair like this one, chances are that the person with that hair is still going to be coating, because winter is always coming. If it's not winter, it's spring, and they'll still be doing it. Pet hair. Is this a pet one? I didn't see pet written on it, but they're meant to have some other features in terms of filtration, but the bristles on this thing are still going to get caught up. So just go through it and get as clean as you want. Like I say, sometimes I've seen these where someone's obviously tried to mop up a load of mayonnaise or something like that, and they get pretty gross. And you can just run them under a tap. Make sure that, well, you don't even have to, because those are sealed bearings. That one's sealed and seized. If you're getting them wet, it won't do them any favors, but equally it's probably okay once in a blue moon. Just pick out all the rest of that hair. Got a pretty big nest of it there. Now the bit that's tricky is sometimes there's a load of hair caught in around the bearing. If there's hair caught up and around the back of the bearing, well then you've got to try, this end's a better example. See, this is wedged with hair. That won't actually do any damage to it. Just won't do any favors either. A bit of string or something caught in here as well. Thread or something like that. Quite a bit of dust with it. So next in the arsenal is a nice sharp knife. Let's get that in on a diagonal. That's getting it through. Instead of wasting time with the scissors, just watch your fingers. There's a lot of stuff caught in there, look. I'll put a link to these pics below. Giving this a twist and a pull, I think. Ah, there we go. So what I did was I hooked it on. I gave it a twist like that, and a pull, and that breaks it off. We're nearly there. God, there's a lot caught up in this one. You'd think they'd try and design this problem out. So the bearing should just spin freely with no looseness. This side's just rock solid. Well, it's starting to loosen up there, but the bearings are obviously dead in it. Because otherwise, if it wasn't dead, it would spin freely. Right, there you go. So to put it back together, I'll do it anyways because I'm here. There's a bit of stuff caught in there as well. Let's pick that out. That little black end cap. See, anything that causes friction eventually causes the plastic to melt. And the motor should have caught it. The sensor behind the motor should have caught that before that happened, but it obviously didn't. So that's all cattywampus there. Take this. This is the awkward bit, putting it back in and getting the square to line up in the far end, while also putting these two pieces of plastic together and holding them in position. So you got to do that too. You see what I'm doing? I'm trying to lever it up at the back. Get that square in. You see, it may work. It may work like this. Wondering if I can do this without getting it off. There we go. So I've lost the square bit at the end there because of these things. That one's come off again. I'll go back in there now. That's it. That's all in. Alright, put those back in. Now get this little bit of hair here off. Try and do that with the knife. You can take all the screws out and get this motor out, and it's awkward enough because there's a load of little wires and things in there too. Just want to cut this off so it doesn't interfere with the motor. If I was doing this for myself, I probably would go to the bother of taking that off completely and getting in there. belt on the small side first. Right around, oh, maybe don't, maybe put on the big side first, I don't know. Yeah, but, oh, it's come off again. There we go. Okay, put it on both. And then this piece here tensions it up. Even though it's only a little bit of plastic. If I got it the right way up, I don't know that I do. There we go, is that right? It's definitely not right, turn it the other way. So you're trying to get the bearing, the silver bearing here into the center of this. And snap these two pieces of plastic on at the same time. While tensioning the belt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a screwdriver in the back here. It's not going to help really, is it? Not really. Yeah, it's looking better. Why are we getting caught on there at all? Ah, look, there's a tooth off in the belt. That could be it. It might be all the problem that I had. Because it meant I couldn't get the right tension on it. There we go. Yeah, that was probably all it was. The screws on the outside cover hold that bit on. Right. So 3 screws in. It might work now, you know. It might just make a bit of a clatter. Right, 12 minutes in. This took longer than I wanted it to, but that's that. Let's see if it works. So if that was your problem, what you're going to need to do is get a new brush bar. That brush bar was melting on one end, and that's a dud. New brush bar, you can get them on eBay or Amazon. I'll put a link below to Amazon, an affiliated link. I'll also put a link up for those little tools that are handy for picking the stuff out. It's the same process as I did. You're just putting a new part in instead of putting an old part in. And in reality, it's a lot easier to put a new bar in because you don't have to clean the old one. There you go. Questions or comments, leave them below. Thanks for watching. See you later.